Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another kind of special, different kind of update. I have been, well, I'll get into why, but I've been getting the call to speak about this, what I'm going to be talking about from my own perspective, my own experiences, and why I'm not going to be going into detail about some of the understanding that I have received from Spirit at this time. So I know I'm being very ambiguous. I'm going to be very ambiguous going forward. But I was called to share this. I was up all night last night. They were giving me messages, giving me the green light to write out what I was feeling, what I've been experiencing, and finally gave me the green light to share this. So this is going to be an audio recording. You know, when I am on the channel and I'm facing you guys, or if I'm doing readings, as soon as I hit record, I start channeling. But I was doing that last night in actual writing. It's not a direct message from source. This is from my own experience, from my own perspective, through my own filter. But it is with source. It is with my spirit team. They were giving me the understanding in order to relay these messages. This is for me, this is for my journey, and this is for what I'm meant to be sharing for my collective. Your journey really is your own. We're all part of a collective, but we also have an individual path, and this right now is my path. And so I was called to share my viewpoint on this and where I'm coming from, and that will make sense. This will make sense the more I go into the message. So I'm doing an audio recording. I've also put this up on my blog if you would like the text version of this, because like I said, I already wrote this out, and what I'm actually going to be doing is reading what I wrote. So please bear with me. Okay, so here we go. Whew. Over the last month or so, I've been led down the rabbit hole of, quote, conspiracy theories. And I use that in quotes because I don't like the word conspiracy. It has a connotation of hoax, and I truly do believe that there's truth in everything. But we have to use discernment and never follow blindly or take things at face value. I'll talk more on that later. I've always known that there are dark forces at work on this planet. I'm not naive. But I've been protected, for lack of a better word, by the divine, and I also believe my divine masculine has been energetically protecting me too, in order for me to keep upholding the light. I have seen immense suffering, darkness, and trauma. No light worker becomes who they are or goes through this journey without experiencing the fire. The fire purifies, it enlightens, it rebirths you in your strength. It helps you find your light and hold steadfast in your compassion. I've been in that individual darkness. I've sat with others in theirs. But I've always known that I cannot live there. That's what meeting my divine masculine did for me. He didn't wake me up. I've been awake and aware for years prior, but he brought me back to life. Now, I'm going to go back to the beginning. The past few months, I was guided down the rabbit hole of just how deep the darkness goes for the collective as a whole. I'm talking about more than fear and more than societal programming. I'm talking about the spiritual war that has been happening behind the scenes, playing out in our physical reality. Again, I've always been aware of this, but on the surface, on the edge. The past month or so, my spirit guides led me to fully understand the details. I'm not here today to lead you to the details. If this is resonating with you, as ambiguous as it is, and I'm being purposefully ambiguous here, you know what I'm talking about. If it isn't, you can keep listening, research yourself, or simply disregard. My job isn't as a truth seeker. There are others who are, and that's amazing and inspiring and absolutely necessary. I fully believe in justice because I'm a Libra. I like those scales nice and balanced. And I cannot stand to see anyone or anything in pain or in trouble or suffering, which is why I say I'll always sit with you in the dark. But I learned from my own experiences that I can't live there with you, with anyone, and I'm not supposed to. We're not supposed to. Instead, I know I'm meant to keep shining the light in other ways, and my guides have led me to more information like this so that I can properly do just that as we continue to change within ourselves and within the world. And this message is a part of that. That's what this message is about. The message today is about holding the light. There are mass awakenings happening on the planet at this time at an accelerated rate, which is creating massive change at an unprecedented level. Change that is a result of what is going on behind the scenes within this spiritual war. The world isn't going to be the same after this, nor should it be. We're ushering in an age of peace, balance, harmony, and love as the universe was originally intended, and I'm also hearing before needing to go through its own experience. The divine, the I am presence, which is also a part of your soul self, is always in control and always knows what it's doing. We, as part of our human experience, just like to get in the way and can become influenced by darker forces at work. But that's changing too. The light is overcoming the dark. And like I said in the Light the World channeled messages recently, this is what we've been preparing for on this ascension journey. Gathering the tools and strength and regaining our sovereignty, recognition of our divinity, to play our role in balancing the scales and bringing light back to the world. The shift is already happening. We're already on the timeline to higher levels of consciousness and anchoring in New Earth, but it's not without its battles. There's going to be a lot of information and a lot of changes coming about over the next few months, as there has been and already is within the spiritual community. It's more important now than ever to stay in a place of balance and high vibration, if not neutrality, and keep holding the light. As with all things, we must be able to go within our hearts and discern for ourselves what is true and what is not, while not allowing our own fears to keep us in a state of ignorance and disassociation. This is so important. Never follow blindly, even those who are light workers with the most positive of intentions. Misinformation can spread quickly and catch you in another loop of the matrix by another name, another loop of dense, dark energy. Those in the spiritual community talk a lot about unawakened or unconscious people, calling them sheep, but if you're following even another well-intentioned spiritual group blindly, even those who work in the light, then you're still following the masses by another name. If you're judging others, you're caught in another loop of the matrix, creating division and separation. If you're vilifying one political party or system as a whole while completely exonerating another, you're caught in another loop in the matrix. If there's anywhere where you are not thinking for yourself, but merely digesting and regurgitating information, you're still giving away your power. We don't put our hope in others as saviors, but recognize that we all have powerful parts to play. Use discernment. You know the truth based on what is in your heart and not everything that is seen and heard. That's why I always say to you guys and to my clients that there are those like myself who serve as guides and teachers and leaders, but the number one lesson I instill is to learn to trust your own intuition, your own truth. This journey is showing you how powerful and divine you are, how powerful and divine we all are, and we all have roles to play. For me, like I told my Divine Masculine a few weeks ago, I'm aware, but I need to keep my face turned towards the sun in order to be of light and hold the light for others. As you learn more and as more is revealed on this journey, it's more important than ever to recognize that we are all interconnected. We are all playing a role because we are all one. And we all must collectively continue to be of faith and connect to ourselves and Source, and even each other in a place of love and compassion and harmony both within and without. This is how we truly win the light over the dark, by recognizing ourselves and each other within one another and continuing to be messengers of light and peace and love. Now, there are pieces to this that I'm personally still struggling with and seeking answers from my guides about, such as what does this spiritual war mean on a soul level from the higher universal and soul perspective? It's challenging my understanding, creating even more questions, while also deepening my faith in this journey, in myself, in each other. I personally don't know enough yet to speak on the subject at length, but more importantly, I'm not called to. It lowers my vibrations right now, and I want to be clear and balanced and in high vibration in order to do my job as a light worker. But this is part of my continued process of awakening. Remember, this journey is a spiral. The more you think you know, the more there is to know. As I understand more, if I'm guided to share more, I will. But I'm simply not personally guided to share. That's not the role I'm here to play, at least not at this time. But I do know this with absolute certainty. This is what we're here for, as light workers and also for those who are sacred partners. We are here to be of the light and to hold that vibration of love and light so that we can ascend into a higher state of peace, harmony, and divinity with all and for all. Again, if you resonate with this, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, take whatever part of this does resonate with you and don't worry about the rest. You'll be guided in whichever direction you are meant to go. Please, please, please continue to trust and have faith in that. I want to let you guys know I'm closing the comments on this post because I don't wish to discuss this outside of my spirit team and soul family at this time. And out of respect to myself and to you guys, I'm also not going to answer emails or DMs as it relates to this specific subject matter. That's not up for debate for me. I was called to share this message over the last week and got the green light today, and I will continue to share what and how I feel called to, but right now my spirit team has reassured me that my job, my role, my purpose is to keep guiding others on their paths through this ascension journey and into sacred union with themselves and their partners. So that's what I'll keep doing. These are challenging times, but also exciting times for the shifts that are happening and the changes that they bring. Keep having faith in the divine unfolding. Keep holding onto the love you have for yourself, for your partner, and for others. Keep being the light of the light. I promise you, you are shining more brightly than ever before, and we need you. I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and we'll be back with another reading soon.